Hey Nova in Easley, South Carolina, or should I say howdy neighbor. Since you are in Easley, I'm in Durham, North Carolina. This is freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut transition lenses for your RayBan 5121 color 2000, which is the classic shiny black, in the 55i size. Let me take everything out. Your RayBan case, your RayBan cleaning cloth. This is your RayBan frame. And of course, they put a little plastic sleeve on the left temple when they ship to me. I will be including that. They do that so the temples don't rub together during shipping. But let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to take out all the original manufacturer's packaging, including the little lens that says RayBan on there. Let me pop out your demo lenses. Of course, this is a heavy-duty frame with the triple barrel hinges. You can almost drive over this frame. But I'm going to put your RayBan frame into my $30,000 Santanelli. This is the LE1000 patternless edger. And the stylus is going to come up and trace the shape of the right lens. Then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. They're only disappointed this took an extra two extra days. I apologize, Nova. My $30,000 piece of equipment was down, but now it's working great. I'm going to get everything cut. Of course, you get free, clear, single vision prescription lenses. You pay the upgrade to transitions, and that's all you paid for. So I'm going to put in one measurement. These are polycarbonate lenses that I'm cutting for a Xyle frame, which is just an old school name for plastic. So let me take your first lens. This is a +50 aspheric airwear. That's the brand Transition 7 gray lenses. I'm going to take it about its original packaging. I'm going to put it into my Marco 101 lensometer, put the power drum at +50, and let me zero this out. I want that in the center of the crosshairs. Now let's do that. I can find the center of your lens much better. I'm going to put a dot in the center of one lens, which is too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken that. I'm going to call this the right lens and put an R on there. Let me do the same thing for your left lens. And these are lenses by Essilor. In fact, you will be receiving these packets just so you know these are the real deal. Let me do the same thing now with the other lens. Of course, you're the same in both eyes, so it really doesn't matter if I do this left or right. But out of habit, I'm just going to put an L on here, which stands for not right, which is just like me. Now, this is a block. I like to call it Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to the lens while it's cutting. This is what's going to hold it in place. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker. And wouldn't you know it, 3M out of Minnesota make a double-sided sticker. The black side is the sticky side. So I'm going to stick this onto the block, pull the tape away to make my side sticky. And what I'm looking into is just like the crosshairs of a scope. I have a vertical meridian and a horizontal one. And I want to get that red dot dead center of that crosshair, because that's going to be your optical center, and that's going to go right in front of your pupil. Now let me do the same thing for the left lens. Pull the little sticker off, put that on there. Pull the tape away to make my side sticky, get that lined up, and we are good to go. So I'm going to take your right lens and put it into the chuck. Of course, I like to call it the Charles because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But the first thing that happens after really bad humor is that these tracers, these calipers, are going to come down and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of your frame to make sure the lens is large enough to fit. It's starting with the rear surface, the concave surface, the back surface closest to your eyelashes, and then it's going to move over and trace the convex front surface of the lens. All the while to measure the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so it fits best inside the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here. It's that lighter color wheel on the left. That's going to grind away your polycarbonate material. And this wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so that it fits inside the frame perfectly. I will have to close the door, but I just want you to see as your prescription lens touches down onto the cutting wheel. But as I mentioned, you're getting the Essilor brand Transition 7 gray lenses. Airwear is their name for poly. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It's also virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber because my fingernail is as strong as a 22. That's why I'm demonstrating that. But also has all the UVA, UVB protection built into it. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. That didn't take long. So if you notice your lens is still completely flat, It is now putting the bevel on there. If you also notice, there's water running in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. Now, having said that, there's two water jets, one in the front here and one in the back, that will begin to spray to wash away any optical debris like this that I'm pulling off your lens. That's optical sawdust. There we go. It does that for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away and clean your lens up. Which reminds me, I need a bath. It was my New Year's resolution, and it's almost October. It is September 30th, and it's 7:37, and it's 76 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, at least according to my Samsung Gear watch. So in just a moment, this will stop, and I will take it out, and we'll see if it fits into the right side of your frame. All right, it is done. There's still a couple more steps. The first one is just dry your lens off so it's not slippery while I work on it. And like me, you have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle. I'm gonna use my hand stone to smooth those out. This is flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running, and my finger gets warm due to the friction. But it's that friction that allows me to apply what's known as the safety bevel. And again, this white powdery substance you see is called Schwarf. I'm going to clean that off with my thumbnail. And once it's all off of your lens and on the counter, I carefully collect it very neatly into one pile. Oop, there's a little bit on my thumb. There we go. And then once it's in one pile, I wipe it on the floor. Because that way if someone comes over, it looks like I've been working. I can fool people that way. So let's go ahead and make sure your lens fits. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first, and then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose, and it does not want to go in. So I'm going to take 2/10 of a millimeter off. Let me go down here to 2/10 and hit the retouch button. The golden rule, you can always cut more off of a lens. You can never add it back on there. So I start a little bit large and work my way down till it fits easily. And to all my American friends who have no idea what a millimeter is, it is the distance between my thumbnails. So I'm going to take 1/5 of that distance off all the way around the circumference of the lens until it pops in easily. Now, the other nice feature about your lens, the AS that you will see on the packet there, it stands for aspheric. Spherical means completely round. These are aspheric lenses, which not only are they thinner, but the curvature is flatter. You will not be receiving these ugly fishbowl appearances. A spherical lens that is completely round and gives you that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. You only receive high quality aspheric lenses here. So when you buy frames online from people, they charge you for plastic lenses, which are the thicker lenses and breakable. When you buy them, then if you want the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable polycarb, you pay an upgrade for that. And then if you want the aspheric lenses, you pay an upgrade fee for that. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens. You get that for free just for buying the frame from me here at freeprescriptionlenses.com. Can I say that enough? So the water jets are running, which is telling me it's on the last 20 seconds. The machine just stopped telling me it's on 0 seconds. So I'm going to take it out, dry it off. And then I want to, let's see if it will fit this time. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first, and then using my thumbnails, pop these in. Now let me pop this, well, I'll do it while the left lens is cutting. But I'm going to take the left lens, we're going to flip this over to L and hit start. Just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time it's going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame to make sure the lens is large enough to fit, and it is. This is just a routine operation. And your lenses are actually very thin, but the reason why it traces both the front and back surface is that it memorizes the thickness at every point going around the lens. Now yours is not a very strong prescription, but as you get into the high minuses, the people who are nearsighted, who cannot see far away, they have thicker bottle cap like lenses, and that makes a difference to know where to place the lens inside the frame so it best hides the thickness of the lens, which you have none of in this frame. But in the future, a year or two from now, if you ever need stronger lenses, you can change these out. I'm going to take this block off, pull that sticker, But to change the lenses out, I flip the frame over. And let me remind you, these are unbreakable, bulletproof lenses. So I'm right-handed. I grab the frame by my left hand. You're always going to push down with your thumb at the nose, no matter whether you're putting in or taking it out. So I put my thumb at the nose. I grab the lenses with my fingers on the other side. I place my thumb there and I push downward. Out comes the lens. Now you won't have to do this for a couple years, but if you ever need stronger lenses or different prescription lenses, I can cut you just the lenses for this frame and mail them right to your home. And again, to mount them, you tuck them in at the outside corner, then using your thumbs, you're always going to push down with your thumbs at the nose. Just push down and it snaps right in. The only time you're not going to want to do this, if it's winter time, if it's cold, plastic gets brittle, just make sure that your frames are at room temperature before you want to try that. So in just a moment we'll take this out. And your prescription, which is plus 50, the unit of measurement in the optical world is called a diopter and goes in quarter increments starting at 0, which is plano, and then going up to 0.20. Plano also means non-prescription. It goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, so this would place you at your late 20s or early 30s. If you need this while you're working at the computer, this will give you that extra little bit of magnification to stop with eye fatigue that you get late in the day. Early in the day, it shouldn't be an issue. Later on in the day, as you have 6 eye muscles, and as we age, every muscle in our body gets weaker. Here we go, onto the counter, onto the floor. Whee! But I do that because the clown gets to have fun at work. But as we age, your muscles get weaker, and your 6 eye muscles are no different. So later in the day, that's why you get eye fatigue from being in front of a computer. Your muscles just aren't as strong as they used to be. This will give you that extra little bit of oomph to make you throughout the day. But I tuck the lens in at the outside corner first. And one thing I've done is I'm not trying to reach across the frame anymore. I turn the side that's empty closest to me so it's perpendicular with my body. Then again, I tuck the lens in at the outside corner. And with my thumbs, I push down at the nose. When that block's not there, it's a lot easier. Let me take this block off. And I want to clean these red dots off of your lenses. Where's my acetone? Come here, acetone. Come here. Come here. Now, this is the time I also take to explain to everyone that if you get these in the mail and they're too loose or they're too tight, or more realistically, the higher chances are that one side is higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, so that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment. Standard alignment is known as a 3-point stance, and the 3 points are 1, 2. Let me turn that off so it's not blinding you. 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I press down, one of mine wobble, but they sit level on me. Now, I flip them over. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. And there's the same amount of tension on each triple-barreled steel hinge. And this is what your lenses look like. You can see a little bit of magnification on those letters as I move them. But this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, meaning that I'm going to put them in my little transitions unit over here and turn them on. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you will see, all transition lenses take about 30 to 45 seconds to darken. They take a little bit longer when you come back inside to lighten all the way. It takes about 45 seconds to a minute 15. Also, this is important. Pay attention, Nova. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks. They will continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is if you're inside of your car. The windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Other than that, you have to have direct exposure to the sun. Now, they're also temperature sensitive, meaning that they will get darker when it's 90 degrees and below. When it's 90 degrees and above, I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody wants to work 100%. when it's that hot outside. So again, Nova, this is the first time they've been darkened. Don't worry, they're going to keep getting darker. Remember, Nova, we talked about this. But that is it. If anyone has any questions about what I can or cannot do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. But Nova, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made your RayBan 5121 color 2000 in the 50 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.